What is the most incredible human feat of all time? Creating instant worldwide communication. Just over 100 years ago, it would take 3 months to send a hi from Australia to your brother in Canada. Going from the first airplane to space in less than 60 years is quite incredible. Air travel as an industry with flights going all around the world constantly every day all the time. Like we're not just flying a few planes here and there, the scale of operations is completely normalized and optimized, requiring constant monitoring, logistics, and coordination with people both in the planes and on the ground, and we treat it like we're taking the bus. Coming back from the moon. The internet. You can talk with person on the other continent with no delay. I mean, I've seen enough people talk about the moon landing, which come on they did that with computers less advanced than our cell phones, so I'll add the fact that throughout history humans have made pyramids all across the globe even with primitive technology. The Egyptians were also like 100 miles off from figuring out the circumference of the world. For people who couldn't travel the globe nearly as easily, that's some seriously impressive stuff. CMOS transistor. No one talking about we agreed as a species to stop using CFC and restore ozone layer. Refrigeration changed everything. Getting to Costco on Christmas Eve 2022, finding an empty parking spot, walking to the toy section and finding the last item on your kid's wish list, heading to the massive checkout queues, seeing the one at the end opening up and rushing over to be the first person served. In and out in 11 minutes. Christmas miracles do happen, folks. The fact Musasha won 60 duels, many of which were to the death. Could not image surviving so many fights with bladed weapons. Going to the moon has got to be up there. Ronnie O'Sullivan's 5 minutes 20 seconds 147 break. Large Hadron Collider. The guy that survived the Titanic drunk as shit in the freezing ocean. I think it's pretty amazing how the people that the movie Alive is based upon managed to survive 72 days in the Andes in freezing temperatures and with barely any food. I have nothing but the utmost respect and honor for these people. How brave and tough they had to be. There's no way I would survive that situation. Collective achievement. Moon landing for sure. As in one person. The guy who voted against using nuclear weapons on the Soviet submarine, preventing a potential nuclear world and saving literal billions of people in the process. When I first moved to LA, I got a blowjob from this girl from Ohio named Lauren. I have no idea how she did what she did, but goddamn. A single person physical feat in one day. The free solo of El Capitan in Yosemite. Alex Honnold free soloing El Capitan has to be up there. When I was a geriatric nurse, I saw a guy take a dump that was close to 6 in diameter. I believe every nurse in the hospital came to gaze upon its wonder. Doubling our lifespan thanks to soap, medicines, and diet. Invention of shovel was groundbreaking. The entire 20th century. We created so much shit within that time period when everything else took hundreds if not thousands of years to achieve. We created automatic weapons. Airplanes. The modern automobile. The radio. Rocketry. Television. A lot of the antibiotics we know today. Nuclear energy. Computers. Space travel. The freaking internet. All within 100 years of each other. That's impressive as hell and a huge technological advancement in such a short period of time on the grand scale of things. Why is everyone talking about the fucking moon and aeroplanes and shit and not talking about modern medicine? More specifically, the discovery of bacteria and antibiotics and vaccinations. Joey Chestnut 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. The world record set by professional athletes. My personal highlight was Eliud Kipchoge running the marathon distance in under 2 hours. Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived both atomic bombs, then lived to the age of 93. Probably the fact that in 1998, The Undertaker threw mankind off hell in a cell, and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table. From an individual, I'd say the Newton making up the entirety of modern calculus to solve a physics problem, or Genghis Khan taking over as much as he did and having as much of his seed sown as he did. Perfect score on Pac-Man 3,333,360 points. Look it up. It's insane. 57 years ago last month Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in a single game while playing for the Polk High Panthers in the city championship game. Humans being able to go past our natural limitations and effectively become the most dominant creatures on this planet has got to be our most incredible feat. We have overcome our natural physical weaknesses to become the apex predators, domesticated and subjugated some wild animals so we didn't have to hunt anymore. Moved mountains and rivers so we could harness their energies and create settlements so we didn't have to move from place to place. Created vessels so we could cross the vast oceans and even mimic the power of flight so we could eventually reach for the stars. Mobile phones. Timothy Treadwell spent 13 summers in the Alaskan bush living amongst the grizzly bears. 12 of those summers he didn't get eaten. Legend. Fiction. Just creating the concept of theoretical stories and ideas, and of course alongside this comes lies, scams, and dangerous fiction. Fiction brought us human rights, government, religion, and most art. The creation of fiction is the most important and incredible human feat. Not sure if many or any animals can fully wrap their head around it. Most human beings don't actually take the time to consider what it really means. I got my printer to work the other day. Printed the letter out right size as well. First time. Without too much buzzing and clicking beforehand. Creating languages. Lots of them. The most universal and adaptive tools that ever existed, and they defined us. We went to the fucking moon, y'all. Building the International Space Station. It's actually surprising how we let a handful of people govern us when we outnumber them 10 million. There are lots, but one thing that always makes me shudder is the 2-hour marathon. If I go to the gym, the max speed is around 18 km/h, 11 miles/h I think. I find anything above 14 km/h to be sprinting. The 2-hour marathon is 26 miles 42 kilometers at an average speed of over 21 km/h 13 miles/h. Incredible feat is not necessarily good. I would say the fact that a single species on Earth would change the face of it to an extent that we would create a new epoch, the Anthropocene, due to the change's damage in the environment that it caused. Margot Robbie has some pretty incredible feat. Science, or more specifically glass. We can build telescopes, microscopes, chemistry, distillation, laboratory work. Which wouldn't have been possible without European glassware. There is a ton of stuff that could fall into this category and some great answers already, but for me it's Felix Baumgartner jumping from almost 40,000 m, breaking the sound barrier by traveling 1.25 Mach, and not dying in the process. Douglas Adams says it's digital watch. The nuclear bomb. Shackleton. Mode of transport needs wheel. The backyard marathon just ended. A collection of runners start a race. Every hour they have to run 4.167 miles. The faster they get it done, the longer they get to rest until, where at the top of the next hour they are given another hour to run another 4.167 miles. It continues until there is only one person left running. The 2023 winner ran 450 miles over 4.5